Welcome back to the show, everyone. I'm Theodore, and tonight we're diving into a topic that might sound a little heavy, but trust me, it's actually incredibly uplifting. We're talking about endings aren't failures, they're harvests. And to help us navigate this fascinating idea, we have a truly brilliant mind with us tonight. She's an author, a thought leader, and someone who really understands the cycles of life and growth. Please give a huge welcome to the amazing Clara.
Thank you, Theodore. It's wonderful to be here. And yes, endings usually get such a bad rap, don't they? Like they're always a sign of something going wrong, when often they're just, well, a new beginning in disguise.
Exactly. And that's what we want to explore tonight. This idea that letting go of what's complete actually creates space for new joy and wisdom. You've talked a lot about something called the dragon method, Clara. Can you tell us a bit about that?
Absolutely, Theodore. The dragon method really came to me from a moment of reflection. Actually, on September 27th, 2025, just a couple of days ago, I was thinking about rice stalks, how they bow when they're heavy with dew, not as a sign of weakness, but of ripeness, of being ready to release.
Wow, that's a beautiful image. So it's about knowing when to bend and let go. But why dragon method? Is there an actual dragon involved, or is that more of a metaphor for, inner fire?
It's definitely a metaphor, Theodore. The dragon represents that ancient, deep wisdom within us, that intuitive knowing. It's about listening to the dragon's whisper, which tells us to harvest our truth, bow in humility, and let illusions dissolve.
So, my inner dragon is telling me to finally clean out my garage? I've been ignoring that whisper for years.
Perhaps, Malik, it's about recognizing that what you carry now is nourishment for the world, but sometimes you have to let go of what's no longer serving you to make space for that nourishment.
I love that. Nourishment for the world. So how does this method help us live a better life? You talk about being happy, healthy, wealthy, and wise. Let's start with happy. How does the dragon method make us happy?
For happy, it's about releasing the illusion that joy depends on control. We often think we need to micromanage everything to be happy, but the method teaches us to find laughter and joy amidst uncertainty. It's about embracing the flow.
Wait, so I don't have to plan every single minute of my day to be happy? My calendar app is going to be so disappointed.
Your calendar app needs to chill, Malik. Clara, that's a powerful shift in perspective. What about healthy? How does the dragon method guide us there?
For healthy, it's about listening to the rhythms of nature and honoring our bodies like the seasons. Just as morning dew is fragile but essential, life is precious and fleeting. We need to recognize that fragility and treat our bodies with that same reverence.
That makes so much sense. It's not just about diet and exercise, but a deeper connection. Now, wealthy. This is where people usually perk up. Is the dragon method gonna make me a millionaire?
Well, Theodore, it might make you rich in a different way. The dragon method teaches that true value lies in sharing with others, not in hoarding. It's about bowing to share what you have, enriching the community, not just your personal bank account.
So, instead of a yacht, I get a really good potluck? I can get behind that, as long as someone else brings the potato salad.
A very wise potluck, Malik. And finally, wise. How does this method bring us wisdom?
Wisdom comes from trusting in the cycle of completion and renewal. It's about understanding that clarity emerges when we trust the greater cycle of life, that endings aren't just endings, but necessary steps for new beginnings.
So, it's like the universe is constantly hitting the refresh button, and we just need to trust the process. Have you seen this method profoundly change someone's life, Clara?
Oh, absolutely. I remember one person who was devastated after a business venture failed. They saw it as a complete personal failure. But by applying the dragon method, they started to see it as a harvest of lessons learned, of connections made, and it freed them to start something even more aligned with their true purpose.
That's actually really inspiring. My failed attempt at baking sourdough suddenly feels less like a tragedy and more like a learning opportunity.
Exactly. It's all about perspective. So this isn't just about accepting change, but actively embracing it as a natural, beneficial part of life.
Precisely. It encourages a lifestyle of harvesting lightly and offering what has ripened back to life. It's a continuous flow, aligning with natural cycles rather than fighting against them.
I imagine it's not always easy to bow in humility when you feel like you've lost something big, though, right?
It's definitely a practice, Theodore. It takes conscious effort to shift that mindset from loss to harvest. But the more you practice, the more you see the profound peace and clarity that comes from it.
So less woe is me and more what's next for me. I like that.
It's a powerful way to look at life's transitions. Clara, what's one final thought you'd like to leave our audience with about the power of embracing endings as harvests?
I'd say remember the dragon's whisper, harvest your truth, bow in humility, and let illusions dissolve. What you carry now is nourishment for the world. Trust that process.
Clara, thank you so much for sharing the dragon method with us tonight. It's truly a refreshing perspective, and I'm definitely going to be thinking about that wise potluck idea.
It was my absolute pleasure, Theodore. Remember, every ending is just an invitation to a new beginning, and perhaps a delicious potluck.
I'm just hoping my inner dragon tells me to bring dessert next time. Less effort than potato salad.
Always thinking ahead, Malik. And on that note, that's all the time we have for tonight. A huge thank you again to Clara and to Malik. We'll see you all next time.